have just one question for you guys. Why is this show so damn good? Seriously, episode after episode after episode, this show produced the best television content I have ever seen. And there is not a single day I won't say that. Because it's just so true. I had started a review series a while back, but it got no traction because I was pretty small back then. So I want to bring it back with my own little spin on it. So, Viacom, this is fair use and intended as a critique only and complies with fair use laws. In today's video, I want to cover a best to worst. Classic Rohan style with Avatar: The Last Airbender. But I also want to split it up. You know, I don't want to cover the whole show right at once. So, here's my best to worst of just season 1. But be wary, this is subjective. So don't get yourself in a twist if you disagree. Let's have a discussion about it. So anyways, starting with the best. Development. In the episodes where something actually happened, we saw Aang, Katara, and Sokka grow up so much. I mean, just looking at the shots from the first episode, and then comparing them side by side with the shots from the final episode, and you realize that, holy, these guys really grew up and matured. And even though they still have such a long way to go in season 2 and 3, the progression they've gone through just in this season alone showed me what great potential this show has. They truly went from little kids to being Team Avatar. Now number 2 is the set pieces, or the world. The world that Avatar: The Last Airbender built in this season, from the 4 nations to the Benders and the war, everything was so well crafted. Last Airbender didn't leave any stone unturned, and it really showed me what good world building is. Aaron Ehas has definitely used his skill to work on the Dragon Prince, because it definitely shows through. The worlds have been crafted to such a high level of detail, and I couldn't ask for anything better. The story. Now by story I don't mean the overarching storyline that we have, but the stories in each individual episode. I mean how the characters are interacting with each other in the scenario they're presented with. What this season did really well is it didn't rush anything. It didn't rush the relationships, it didn't rush the maturity of our characters, and it didn't rush the details of the world. Good writing is so important in a show, and The Last Airbender did it really, really well. And so I have to put this as one of the best. Okay, so now the part of the video I always dread is the worst. So season 1, there's a lot I can comment about here. In my eyes, Last Airbender is the best show of all time, no doubt. But season 1 wasn't the peak. It really just got better and better from here, and so even though it was pretty good, season 1 was the lowest point of this show. And so there are just a few worse things about it. And so in no particular order, my worst, starting with number 3, filler. And oh my god, was there so much in this season. I get that these episodes might introduce one minor character or have a little bit of development going on, but that's really not my style. In the later seasons, each episode had purpose. The development our characters went through really showed us why they were there on their journey. But in these filler episodes, the character development was so minimal, these episodes were almost not worth it. I mean, these are alright episodes on their own, but just in the bigger scheme of things, they're really just kind of average. Jet, Kyoshi Warriors, The Fortune Teller, really just filler. And do not even get me started on The Great Divide. I hate that episode, and so that is my number 2 spot. This entire episode. I'm sorry man, but this episode was not good. It did nothing to advance the story at all. I didn't see any character development besides a little bit of Aang learning to lead and be the bridge between 2 nations, kind of. But besides this brief learning moment, The whole episode was pretty garbage. Katara and Sokka just hung out with each of the tribes and learned their stories. Truly such a useless episode. Didn't introduce any minor characters that we see later. Overall, it has to be on my worst list. And finally, on my worst list, some people might get angry about this, but hey, I guess that's why it's called the best to worst, right? Katara. Just her character in general. For the first few episodes, she was acting like in the first episode, she decides to leave her family for Aang. After knowing him for only 1 day. She completely then blanks Aang on Kyoshi Island, steals this waterbending scroll, and then gets all mad when Aang is better than her. I mean, come on, Katara. And the fortune teller episode. She's just acting so dumb, I don't even know what to say. And of course, Katara did grow up near to the end of the season, but she's just not likable for the first half. Hate me if you do, but I have to put this on the worst list. So anyways, that is my best to worst of The Last Airbender Season 1. You know, I wanted to take a little break from the Dragon Prince recently, as I've been making so many of those videos. Hopefully you like these and maybe I can do some more. So make sure you do let me know if you want me to make an episode for Season 2 and 3, and I'll make sure to give them a go. And also, let me know what other videos you want me to make. I love all your ideas. And with that, my name is Rohan. Make sure you subscribe for everything Avatar. And until next time.